What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your brother O.T.G. The O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And today, we're diving into the world of music production with this exciting, dope video that I made of a beat-making session using some of the best gear out there. We've got the O.T.G MPC Live 2 as our sequencer and sampler. We have the Roland TR6S for drums, the Roland J6 for MIDI chords, and the Nano Keys 37-key keyboard for melodies. Stick around and watch how I put this together. You know, some main points of how this works is that the Roland TR6S is plugged into the O.T.G MPC Live 2 into the inputs. It's synced via MIDI, so the MIDI out of the O.T.G Live 2 is going into the Roland TR6S. The Roland J6 is going into a MIDI hub via USB-C, and the Nano Keys is going into a MIDI hub, and that MIDI hub is plugged via USB into the Live 2. That's how we're getting this done. One other key piece to this whole setup is that once you do that, you got to press menu, you got to press sampler, and then you got to turn on your input so you can actually hear the audio coming through as you're starting and stopping your Live 2. And this kind of brings me to the versatility of the MPC Live 2. You know, to me, it's a powerhouse that combines the functionality of a sequencer and a sampler all in one package. It's pretty intuitive with the interface and the workflow, as you'll see, and makes it perfect for anybody. You know, if you're a beginner or you're a producer who's been doing this for years, my advice would be just take your time and get to know your machine. You know, if you look in the comments, I have masterclasses and things for cheap prices, all kinds of things for those who need help, and one-on-one classes available. One of the main things that I like about the O.T.G MPC Live 2 is the standalone capability. You know, once you put a SSD hard drive in there, you know, a setup like this can fit in a backpack and you can take it on the go and you never need the computer. For me, it's a versatile tool that is the backbone of my setup. You know, so I really enjoy the Live 2, and I definitely think that the Live 2 is beneficial. This beat right here that we're creating now in real time, no edits. This beat, I'm monitoring through the Live 2 speakers. You guys are listening as it's being ran through my actual studio. The secret sauce is what I like to call it. You're hearing that version, but I'm creating this beat with just the Live 2 speakers. I like to do that. I feel like it gives me a good idea of where my bass is. I think they're pretty good speakers for them to be so small. Definitely make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button. That helps people like you and other people who are interested in cool setups and different ways and really enjoy making music. You know, that will help them see my videos, and in turn that helps me, and it'll help me get back on the schedule of doing this on a consistent basis. The next thing I want to talk about is the Roland TR6S for the drums. You know, the Roland TR6S is a small, compact drum machine, but you can hear the output that it has. It packs a punch. You know, it's got the authentic TR sounds and extensive sound shaping capabilities. You know, for me, I have everything inside of the Live 2. We have all kinds of drums. And a lot of people would say, why would you utilize a drum machine with a drum machine? But you can hear the punch, and some of the TR sounds only sound good coming out of the TR6S. And that brings us back to the versatility of the Live 2 and its sample capabilities. You The TR6S allows us to create dynamic drum beats with ease. And I like to say dynamic because you can hear the reverb and you'll get a better idea when I get into the step loop and I record in my drums and the variations. And seeing how I do these variations in real time, you'll get a better understanding. Right now we're just in the looping phase. The way that I like to particularly build my beats is like I like to build them all up, with all the main sounds and all of the things that I feel in the moment, and then I loop it out, and then I use the deduction method. I start to deduct things one at a time until I get an arrangement that I can feel. And then I'll do that numerous times, and we'll come back in, we'll play pianos over it, we'll do all kinds of different things to take it to the next level. And again, this is where the TR6S comes in, because whether I'm using the 808s or experimenting with new modern textures, this little machine delivers big sound, big quality, and good versatility. And it's a great tool for me to utilize with the Live 2 in real time. Make sure you stay to the end so you can hear the full beat, the final product. You get a better understanding, and hopefully this will inspire some of you guys to understand how you can use your audio channel, because I'm going to just use one audio channel to record the 2-track of the TR6S in to the MPC. And I'm going to make some decisions early on with how I sample it in there. So if there is a need for me to utilize those drums and make some changes to the drums that I can't make in Ableton by chopping out parts, then I do have every individual drum hit I could go in there and recreate and slice it down. Excuse me. So that is one of the pluses, and just make sure you stick around. You can see how we can maneuver and really put it together. One of the things that people say all the time is that they come up with dope loops inside of their MPC Live 2, right? But then they get to a certain part and they don't know what to do next. Most of that is the arrangement. Well, that's why your brother's here, because if you watch enough of my videos, the reason why I make the videos the way that I do is to show you all of these beats being made in real time with no edits. That once you get more familiar with your machine, you can just start to breeze through your machine and you can create things off the top of your head like I'm doing right now. You see me start with drums and randomly pick the sounds and build this out. And you can see how to take a loop and turn it into a full production. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you tap in. We're big team O.T.G. Big team O.T.G. Big team overtime grind. That's what we do. Now it's time for me to touch on this Roland J6. I love the Roland J6 for its rich MIDI chords. I utilize this thing. It's got 100 different styles built into it. You can utilize it with an adapter to 5-pin, or you can just utilize a USB-C and set it as the slave. Now, once you press shift and chord, you have access to your 100 different styles and chord sets. They follow the octaves up and down. If you turn off the shift and chord, you have the access to utilize each note in a way that will make sure everything is in key with the chords that you're playing. It has an extensive range of customizable patterns, and super lush MIDI chords that will definitely push your songs to a different place. It's super small, intuitive interface makes it easy to tweak and fine tune and really give me endless creative possibilities, right? And the goal of what we're doing as producers is to advance. I want you to advance We all want to advance our sound, advance our beats, advance our lives, right? You know, I'm back now, so with being back, I have decided, you know, sometimes we're going to talk about other things like taking care of ourselves and the importance of creating and understanding and not having a cluttered workspace. You know, understanding what's intuitive to you and what pushes your creativity. You might have 100 things in your studio, but this 2-piece setup or 3-piece awkward setup that doesn't make sense to people is what inspires you to have unlimited or endless creative possibility. And that's a beautiful place. So I hope that a lot of you guys can reach that and find some inspiration, inshallah, from some of the things that we're talking about. I definitely want to talk about the Nano Keys 37. You know, there is a MPC Key 37. I looked at the MPC Key 37. I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And so many times I almost pulled the trigger. But I know, don't kill me. Don't kill me. Last but not least, the Nano Keys 37 key keyboard. I mean, it's compact, but it's a powerful MIDI controller. And it helps me unlock new melodic possibilities. I like the responsive keys. I like the layout. The Nano Keys gives me a way to express myself freely and experiment with all kinds of different melodies and harmonies, whether I'm playing leads, pads, or bass lines. This little keyboard can add a human touch to everything that we produce. And, you know, probably not in this video, but when I get into other videos, I'll show you, you know, how you can utilize, humanize, and different velocities along with the Nano Keys. Like the Nano Keys gives you, the longer that you use it, it seems like the more it gets used to the way that you press the keys. So even though they're pretty clicky, and this isn't an ASMR channel, even though they're pretty clicky, it is kind of satisfying, and over time you get used to how to play them. Well, if I have a live too, and then I add this little 37 key Nano Key, and then I have my J6, plus we have the progressions inside the MPC. Now we have unlimited possibilities of how we can create, you know? I think it's a beautiful setup. I really enjoy using this setup. And I would encourage you guys to try and experience different setups, different things. You know, like right now I'm utilizing the step loop. You see? So now I'm recording this in live. This is utilizing the sampler aspect of the live too. You know, and so now we let it go. When I press each one of those buttons do a repeat or some kind of beat juggle. So, you know, if you see me press shift, I'm trying to press shift into hi-hat. So that way, when I press one of these keys, I can have silence, right? And then I can turn the hi-hats back on, and it just gives a feel. And that's extremely important to me personally, because I like to play my stuff live. If you watch my videos, you know, so you can see right here it is live. And I want to get my real feeling in, so you can see, you know, it's not something that we're making up. We're doing this in real time. It's kind of what you see, what you get. And the perfect example of this is just kind of showing you, you know, it may take you 1 or 2 times. I'm doing this video, and so I set up the camera and I have the camera going, and I know that I don't want to take 40 times because I don't want to edit it. So sometimes I may settle with a drum or settle with a weird mistake that I may not have wanted, or in my mind when I was thinking about how to put it together, it wasn't supposed to be there. But you can see I've erased a couple times. You know, until I get that feeling that I want and I get the vibe that I want, then no, I'm not going to go through it and deal with it. You get what I'm saying? And so now we good, right? I kind of like the way this feels. You know, so now we're going to set up some arrangement. We cut the hi-hats. You can see the strip is dark now. And part of why I like the step sequencer on the Roland TR Success is because it provides me a visual of where I'm at in the loop all the time. You know, at this BPM, that's just a 2-bar loop. You're looking at 16 steps. You know, it's probably not a 2-bar loop. It's all in how you see it. It's a 1-bar. Yeah, it's all in how you see it. But in that aspect, I have a visual cue to go off of. So I know in the places, along with using my ears, which are extremely important to creating music and doing the things that you want to do. You know, I'm also using these visual cues to kind of get myself together and understand. And see, so right now we're done. We got our drums. We turned the audio down so that way you can hear it on the playback. You know, what I need to do is go to main and turn on auto so that way it senses that there's audio there. And we'll do that now. Boom. Now we're at auto. And now when we press play, we could go back and look. And if you notice, we got all our audio tools up there. Let's go ahead and throw that MPC 60 sound on the drums, though. Make them sound a little bit more dirty. You know, and I like to come in last. This is my way, my methodology when I'm engineering songs. This is my method when I'm recording artists. This is O.T.G's method of how I create. Like I explained earlier. You know, I do it piece by piece, and then I come through, and like now, we're going to come through and work on the beginning. It's part of my favorite part of production, honestly, is this part, the part where the song starts to come together. You can start to hear the vision of the song. You know, sometimes it may take you a couple times to get this part right. What I would do normally is copy sequence 1 to sequence 2 before I started doing all the mutes, because sometimes if you guys are familiar with doing the mutes, it could be a little bit difficult to erase the mutes or edit them. You could go into list edit and edit them then, but I like to be efficient. So normally what I would do is save it, but because I have the drums and it's a 32-bar loop on the drums, straight audio, I don't want to cloud my memory. So what I'm going to do is do it on this track. What I want you to notice is how when it sounded like a loop, it sounded just looped up, right? But as I start to play around with the mutes, these are all the MPC plugins. And some of them are the old ones, you know, it's Odyssey, it's Mini D, it's Tube Synth. We have two Mini D plugins, Tube Synth, and Odyssey. if I wanted. You know, it's kind of on my mind, but I'm not going to do it. I want to build on that. I want to build and add more. Right now, I also kind of want to mess with the volumes in the mix. So I feel like I want to add a granulator to the sound because I want it to be kind of dreamy and more full. So we're going to add a granulator. And this again speaks to the greatness of having the Live 2 and everything about it. You know, it makes it super easy to go in. And to me personally, all the plugins are high quality. And utilizing it standalone, really it makes it extremely powerful. It's something that you can just take with you and have on the go all the time. But quickly, what I want to do is say, you know, this video is about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And this is a dope beat making session using the MPC Live 2, the Roland TR6S, the Roland J6, and the Nano Key 37 key keyboard. Together, these tools form a powerhouse combination that allows me to unleash my creativity and bring all of my musical ideas to life. You know, I do want to say thank you for everybody tuning in. Make sure you don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more music production content, for different ways that I connect my Live 2 and different things together. You know, make sure you tap in with your brother. You can see I'll mess with this a little bit more. You know, check out that masterclass down there. You know, it's only $5. You spend a little bit more to get 15 gigs of sounds. I'm going to update all the master classes, and then I'm going to move the price up. They come with lifetime updates. And this next set of videos that I'm going to be creating for Supply to Work, Overtime Grind, and Beat Builder TV, they're going to be a little bit more advanced. Like, this is an advanced technique that you guys are seeing right now. You know, it is kind of to the old days of sampling and having multiple gear hooked up. You know, I like to have it as minimal on the screen as possible. But this is pretty extensive when you start, or it can get intermediate with how you're going to utilize a 32-bar loop and create a 2-bar loop and turn it into a full beat. You know, some of it has to do with understanding music and where things are placed. Some of it has to do with just spending a lot of time on your machine. Some of it has to do with not being afraid to experiment. Right now, I got the PEQ 4-band. I really like this EQ. Again, personally, I think Akai has some super powerful plugins and standalone, and when you start to apply them in a way that makes sense, as a producer should, you can really get the biggest value out of those plugins and really see how it works. So hopefully you guys like this beat. Inshallah, you got some understanding why I utilize the Roland TR6S, the Roland J6, the Korg Nano Keys 2, and the MPC Live 2. You know, like, share, subscribe, comment, check out the masterclass. Follow me on all social media at 365 O.T.G. and it's big team O.T.G. over here. Dig?